Today we're going to be going over another sale. This is over at fragflex.com. This is their 4th of July sale. First things first, we're going to start off with the codes. What do you need to know in order to take advantage of this sale? Let's go ahead and talk about that right now. Well, first things first, the duration. It's starting now as you're watching this. It's going to end on July 7th at midnight. So you've got a limited amount of time here to take advantage of these deals. And typically how these usually go, the good deals and the good prices that I'm going to be highlighting, those usually sell out within the first day or less. Kind of towards the end of that sale, you get down to slim pickings. All the good stuff is gone. So make sure you act fast if anything catches your interest. The codes, okay? So first up, samples. Free samples for the first 500 orders you must add to cart. You can get a buy one, get one 25% off over $78 with code PATRIOT25. And one thing I always like to say with the buy one, get one, you don't have to buy two of the same to get that discount. I think that's something that doesn't always make a whole lot of sense. People might not realize that. You could mix and match any two things. As long as it's totaling out over $78, you use that code, you get that buy one, get one 25% off. You don't have to buy two of the same to get that. The next code we have here is free shipping over $78 with code PATRIOTSHIP. Okay, so straightforward. Anything over $78, if your cart is totaling $78 USD or greater, with that code you get free shipping. These codes are stackable, but not with other discounts. So one thing to keep in mind. So these can be stacked, but that's it. Now we're going to start working our way into a few notable, really good deals that are going on right now. First one is Armaf Dinoi Untold. I'm sure you remember this one. Came to market and was immediately very successful because, of course, it's a Baccarat Rouge 540 clone. And when this one first came out, I believe it was priced at around like $59, maybe $60 for 105 ml, just like this. And it sold like crazy. I mean, there was a point where you could not get a hold of this stuff because every time it would come into stock, it would sell out quickly. Things have changed a little bit, and now this is down to $34 right now during this sale only. I mean, even still, when you look at other discounters and what they're charging for this, it's still on the upper end of that. You know, you're still looking at around, $50 or so on average for this. $34 is a steal, and I don't know if I've ever seen it this low. Maybe seen it in the high 30s, but dang, down to $34, that's a really, really good price for this one. And, I think in terms of quality, performance, and just overall, accuracy that this one gives off, $60 is a really fair price. But essentially half that, it's definitely something you should look into picking up right now. If you don't have it, this would be the time to go ahead and get it, even if it's a little bit out of season right now. And if you already have this one and you've been considering a backup bottle, this would be the time also. Sticking with Armaf, we have Dinoi Iconic. Now this one is coming in at 105 ml for $38. Now the way I've always described this one is simply, it's like a Bleu de Chanel meets Roja Elysium twist. That's kind of what I like to compare this to. It's not a straight up clone of one or the other or anything in particular. It's one of those hybrid situations that have been becoming more and more popular in the clone world as flankers have been becoming more popular from clone brands. Instead of putting out a flanker that is now focusing in on one other thing in particular, they'll kind of start to throw a few things into the pot, so to speak. And that's kind of what you get with this one. You get the lemon, birch, kind of smoky Bleu de Chanel smell. But then you get some of the vetiver that's used very heavily in Elysium, a very specific type of vetiver. And you pick up on that in here too. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds, coming in at a really good price, just a hair under $40 for this one. And this one kind of followed a somewhat similar pricing structure compared to Armaf Untold. Came in a little bit below that one when it was first released, but still, you just don't see it into the 30s nowadays. I mean, this is a really good deal and a really good time to get this one. And of course, $38 doesn't get you anywhere close to buying Bleu de Chanel nor Elysium. So the fact that you can kind of get a little bit of both for under $40, it's a really good opportunity to pick this one up. Armaf Dinoi Limited Edition Parfum. Well, I should say Dinoi Intense Man Limited Edition Parfum. Coming in at 105 ml for $62 right now. Really, really good price on this one. I mean, typically, you know, you're paying quite a bit more than that, 70 plus. Also, one thing I need to mention, these are prices without the discounts applied. So once you start applying discounts and all that, then you're going to be saving even more. But yeah, and I've said it before, this is one of my favorite Aventus clones on the market right now. It's, out of all of the Armaf Aventus clones, to me, it's the best one that they have out. This makes the Eau de Toilette obsolete. It makes the Eau de Parfum obsolete. You really don't need to bother with getting the regular Parfum when you can get this one. It's going to do everything and more. And yes, compared to the others, it might be a little bit more expensive, but I don't really think that that should be too much of a deterrent when you compare it not only to actual Aventus, which is way more expensive, but also just when you look at the difference in pricing between them, it's not a massive difference. You know, I mean, this is just essentially $20, $25 more than something like Mont Blanc Explorer, and I think you get a lot more value out of this. What makes Mont Blanc Explorer so appealing is that it's a designer, and it's something that you could pick up in stores, and it's, again, the main thing, a designer. So people who aren't really heavily invested in the community, that don't know about all these clone brands and stuff, they kind of go for that Mont Blanc because it's an easy pick, it's an easy find that smells like Aventus. But if you really want to get the best bang for your buck, dollar for dollar, and you don't care that it's not a flashy, expensive sounding designer brand, Armaf Club de Nuit Intense Man Limited Edition Parfum, it's one of the best out there. Okay, last of the Armafs, we have Club de Nuit Urban Man Elixir. Also new, but not as new as these others that we've been talking about. And this one's on sale for, it looks like, $31 right now. So, you know, essentially kind of falling down into cheapy category. And what does this one smell like? Well, to me, it is yet another hybrid situation. A couple different ways that you could go about describing it. Kind of like a combination of Dior Sauvage and Creed Aventus, and or Dior Sauvage and Armaf Club de Nuit Intense Man, or Prada Luna Rosa Carbon mixed with Aventus, or Prada Luna Rosa Carbon mixed with Club de Nuit Intense Man, or any other Aventus clone for that matter. You kind of see where I'm going with this here. There have been a lot of inspirations based off of both of these scent profiles across the board. So just essentially it has Aventus smell with Dior Sauvage smell, and you can mix and match however else you please. And kind of to break down on that further, the Sauvage in here does have a little bit more of a Sauvage Eau de Parfum / Luna Rosa Carbon appeal. It's a little bit more fuzzy, a little bit more sweet, less citric and bright and peppery. So maybe more, you know, like a Prada Luna Rosa Carbon smell. Maybe that would be a better way to describe it. And then the Aventus, it's not too smoky. It's kind of a brighter, more fruity pineapple style of Aventus, kind of like modern Aventus. This is also not the first of its kind, I believe, in terms of, you know, aside from layering it yourself, Parfums Vintage, they did this several years ago, and that was called Parfums Vintage X Batch. And they had X Batch Intense and a few other iterations, which was essentially combining a Sauvage and Aventus smell. Very popular. It's a very popular layering combination. And again, some brands have also just went ahead and bottled it up for you. It works great. I love how it smells. Now, again, similar deal here. If you already have Aventus and you already have Sauvage or Luna Rosa Carbon or whatever, this might not be a necessity. But you can't get Sauvage, Luna Rosa Carbon, Aventus, any of those smelling things for $30 combined. You just can't. That's not even gonna, that'll just about get you one of the Creed Aventus clones. That's it, right? And to combine them both, you can't do it cheaper on your own. So this would be a great option to pick up if you want the best of both worlds combined at the lowest cost possible. Now let's cover Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir Parfum. So this one's coming in at a 100 ml boxed for $67. Or you could get a 100 ml tester for $70. Yeah, probably makes more sense to get the 100 ml full presentation while you can. If this sells out, you got the testers for a bit of a lower price too, although, you know, still a great deal regardless of the two. This stuff is a fantastic release. It's introducing iris into the mix. This is very prominent on the cypress and the woods and the musk with a little bit of a sweet creamy iris. It just gives it a nice little different twist that hasn't been done yet within this lineup, which has primarily just been fresh and aromatic. Okay, a couple things I want to get into really quick here, okay? Risasi Essentiel, that's in stock right now. It's a fantastic L'Homme Ultime clone. I've already covered that on the channel. It's in stock for the lowest price, so you can go ahead and pick that one up right now. And the main thing that I don't have yet, but it's gone live, and I want to make sure that it's known out there that you can pick it up now, is Tribal Gold, okay? Now this is going to be a Le Mans Elixir clone. Like I said, I don't have mine yet, but I'm kind of hearing it on good word that it's a really solid clone and it's coming in at a great price too. Okay, that's it. That's the sale. And that's not everything. Like I said, everything on the website can fall into those discount codes. You can use them. But these are just some of the ones I wanted to highlight. And really, out of all of these, that Armaf Untold price, that's just some of the best I've seen. That one's going to be notable, and it's probably going to sell quick. So jump on that if you're interested. All the links to these and the information and codes and everything will be down below in the description to make it easy. My mailing list and my texting list, they already heard about this first. So they probably got started shopping and they probably finished up before you're seeing this video. So make sure you jump on those lists at the number and the link down below. You'll be the first to know anytime something like this goes live, anytime a rare, discontinued, or new release comes in stock as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.